How about a declutter? Hey everyone, it's Laynie Lashes here and welcome to my channel. If you're new, oh my goodness, welcome. If you're returning, thank you so stinking much. It means the world to me. If I seem a little far from the camera, that's because I have this giant drawer in front of me of stuff I really need to declutter. And per usual, if you hear a wild toddler in her habitat, there's nothing I can do about it. We live here. And it's a whole whopping 18 degrees outside today, so nope. There's no outdoor entertainment for us here in the Midwest, sadly. If you enjoy makeup content, fragrance content, and lifestyle content, make sure you click that subscribe button. Join the Lash fam. You will not regret it. I can guarantee that. We have a wonderful stinking community here, okay? Yes, I said stinking because I'm a mom and I have to filter. Seriously though, I really want to get this declutter done because this drawer has just been looming over my shoulder like, please empty me out, please empty me out. I have just, as I've been down here getting ready over the weeks, by weeks I mean months, by months I mean this entire year. What? I rushed into this, okay? So as I've been getting ready, when I've noticed things that I'm just not loving anymore, I don't find myself wanting to reach for, I feel like it's reached its expiration date, you know, just the things that you think of as you go. I just started tossing it into this drawer with every intention of sharing it with you guys. I didn't think it would take me the whole year to finally get this accomplished, but here we are. In here I have, and this weather's getting to my sinuses, so I do apologize. In here I have the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Water Infused Tinted Moisturizer. I actually do really like this. I don't know why I put it in here. I must have had a reason, I can't remember now. But anyway, so I guess I didn't love this enough to keep it. I also have in here the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer. This one, it was just expired, honestly, so I was like, I'm going to get rid of it. The In Real Life Filter Foundation, I actually do like this, but sometimes the color was a little hit and miss on me, so it was time to get rid of it. My Anastasia Luminous Foundation, I actually went through a lot of this. I just find it's not my favorite foundation. I have things that I like more. This is something I do need to definitely use something smoothing underneath because it's not the smoothest. It's not the worst, but it's not the smoothest. This is something I got in Influencer. So another thing here is the Purely BB Cream. I actually really did enjoy this. I had just had this for a very long time because I actually got this in BoxyCharm, and I haven't had BoxyCharm subscription in a really long time. It had been in my stash for an extremely long time, and I didn't want to totally waste it, so I wore it a little bit, but then I was like, okay, it's very expired, and you know, you don't want to risk too much when it comes to your skin. I've been so honest on my channel, I very much will use stuff past its expiration date. In fact, a lot of my makeup is past its expiration date. I have a limit, like I said, but I'm weird with powders. One thing with powders is once I see the pan, I don't like to keep it. This is just like the neat freak in me because once you see the pan, it's so easy to get it broken, to crumble, and get everywhere. And that just really, when my makeup bag gets covered in powder or I end up spilling it all over my clothes, that's when I get irritated. So once I see pan on a powder that's pressed, I'm like, goodbye. I know, it's really wasteful, I know. The e.l.f. Camo Powder Foundation, the reason I got rid of this was because I was on the Ulta website. I actually loved this powder, and then there was like this disclaimer, known to cause cancer in California, and I'm like, what in the world is in here? That freaked me out, so right away it went in the declutter bin. And then my thing with loose powders, I actually really love the Physicians Formula Mineral Wear a lot. It's one kind of like the glowish I'm wearing today. It just doesn't make you look dry, powdery, which I really like, and is hard to find in a drugstore powder. And then the Beauty Bakery, I just had it a really long time. But with loose powders, I can disinfect my pressed powder, so I will stretch it out past its expiration. But loose powders, there's no way to disinfect these because they're loose and you're like dipping your brush in there or your sponge. You know bacteria is getting in there. So I just have this thing where it's like once I've used it so long, I start to feel a little bit like, it's time to get rid of it. So that's why these are in here. The e.l.f. Camo CC Cream, I've been open about this in the past. I really liked it at first. The more I wear it, it wasn't my favorite. That's the thing about first impressions is like sometimes things seem really good, but then the more you get to use them, you're like, you know, this really isn't my style. I just found this looked heavier on my skin than I would like. It's pretty for mixing in things that don't have the coverage you want because the coverage is very good, but on my skin it looks quite heavy. This Physicians Formula bronzing, I wanted to say pen, this is not a pen, stick. I actually think this is a beautiful product, like really, really good for the drugstore, really good. It just really dried out and it got so hard that it was like I had to like push or really warm it up on the back of my hand, and I didn't want to do that all the time. So that one went, and instead I replaced it with my Wet n Wild one. The Good Apple, I was sent this in Influencer. I actually used a lot of it. I just was, oh man, I just got it all over my finger. I actually used a lot of this, really did enjoy it, but it was just time. I was like, I'm done with it. I'm over it, want to try something else. I just tried, I posted this on Instagram, but I just tried these nail sticker things. You know, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, but they're just like little sheets you stick on and then you like file off the extra. I always thought it seemed really gimmicky, but I really love how it looks for a cheap little at-home manicure moment. I've only had it on less than 24 hours, so I don't know how they last. That will be the deciding factor if I decide to buy them again, but they look so pretty. This is the Joa Truly Yours concealer. Really do enjoy it. It has a sponge tip, which, you know, not the most hygienic, but sometimes it does make a nice application. Like, I get why they do it, but at the same time, if you use sponge tips, make sure it's like a product you're going to keep using so you don't go past the expiration date for sure. But my sponge tip, I took it off and I did use this a lot, and it just got to the point where I just was tired of using it. I had a serious issue with mascaras this year. Right now I am liking the ones I'm using. Sorry, I'm digging through here, so I know there's lots of noise going on. I'm using the Telescope and another one, and the two combined I really like, but like, should I have to wear two of them to get what I want? Not really. So there's a bunch of lash products in here. The Wet n Wild Big Papa, did not like. Blink Amplified Tubing Mascara, thought I loved it from the past, going back in my memory from BoxyCharm, thought I loved it. Not impressed whatsoever. Did not. I want Va Va Voom. Today I'm wearing false lashes, by the way. I'm sure you could tell. I successfully put on false lashes. It's going to be a good day. But I like a lot of oomph on my lashes. I want them to be almost spidery, like not quite there, but like almost. Like I want some, you know, lashes. And then I did the On the Rise mascara, which I used to love, but I was finding this was flaking and like transferring a lot, and I'm not cool with that. So I thought, well, maybe I'll try it with the On the Rise primer. I thought it made the smudging worse, so that was just not cool. The Lash Blast Fusion, this came in a beauty box my boss gave me for, I think it was my birthday. This wasn't very good. Got rid of the Brow Glue by NYX. I actually do really like this product, but I just have fully decided that I prefer color in my brow gel. Oh, another mascara, Believe Beauty, terrible. Makeup Revolution Freckle Pen Marker Brush, whatever you want to call this. I liked how it went on. I liked the wear. The color was just horrible for me. It looked way too dark. If you were dark complected, I would recommend this, but for my skin tone, it looked very fake. So, brain work, where was I? Eye stuff. Okay, so I decided to get rid of my NYX Epic Wear liquid liner. Wow, my brain has just, it's left me. So sorry. This is not bad at all. I just like the pen version of it better, but it's not bad. I just find the formula is a little bit wet, so it can get messy if I'm not careful about making sure it dries fully before I bling. These were 3 colors of eyeliners that I just was not reaching for, and they were getting very dried out. Oh, and the white version of the NYX, what is this? NYX, have I even been telling you what all this stuff is? Oh, no. It's like this is my first day on the job here. Okay, so these were the ColourPop Cream Gel Liners, which I actually really like these. The quality of the liner is very good. The price is good. Just these colors I never reach for, although this screams like Thanksgiving. Look at those colors. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so some other stuff in here. The e.l.f. Jelly Primer. I actually really like this. It does a very good job of making your product stay on. It really is a gripping primer. Honestly, like, forget all the high-end ones. This is just as good for way cheaper. The only reason I decided I wanted to get rid of it is because I'm really loving and it is rare that I really love a high-end product right now, but the Shiseido Blurring Primer, it's doing such good things for me because I struggle with large pores and it really helps. Decided to declutter my e.l.f. 16-Hour Matte Camo Concealer because I wanted to try the Morphe one that I'm using now, and I have enough makeup in my collection that I know when I switch something I really need to rotate other things, otherwise things will expire. So swapped this out for the Morphe. I don't mind the Morphe, but it's definitely not as good as this, and once I use up the Morphe, I'm sticking with my e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo. It doesn't bunch up on me, which is a real struggle because I smile with my eyes all day. Decided to get rid of the Tarte Glow palette. This is a bronzer and blush highlight. This I got in BoxyCharm forever ago. Literally had it for years, and just found it wasn't exactly tones I want to reach for. Like, I was forcing myself to use it because I didn't want to totally waste it, but I wasn't loving it, so finally decided it's gotta go. Now, makeup is my forever love. Like, I love playing with makeup every day. I still get in those moods where I want to try new products, but I'm more in a stage with my makeup that I want to find those, like, I want to make a curated makeup collection. Things that I know I love, things that I know I reach for, things that I know work for me in my 30s. My skin isn't quite the same that it was, you know, in my 20s or pre-having a kiddo. So I'm trying to really curate and become an expert at what works for me. And I feel like over the years, I'm like learning that, you know, just because of years of playing with makeup, you're gonna learn things, you're gonna figure things out. I've never been an expert at this. It's always just been a love and a hobby. So makeup's not going anywhere. I've just in the last year really found that I'm not in that place where I want to just buy every new makeup item that is coming out. I've switched gears with that, where I'm much more in that exploration zone with fragrance, where I'm like always so interested and tempted to try out these different things so I can learn the different notes and what works for me, what I love, what I don't love, what has longevity, what doesn't. And I'm just excited again. I kind of got unexcited about makeup during COVID. I think a lot of us did. I was still wearing makeup, but not like, I didn't wear lipstick for what, like a year, because when you're wearing a mask, like, what's the point? So I kind of got away from that with makeup, and I think how the beauty community is now, it's pretty evident that it happened to many of us. I mean, I just looked up Katie and Desi on YouTube, and they haven't posted in a year. Like, what? That's crazy. So that shows where the makeup side has gone, and I think there's a lot of us who feel that way, and fragrance is really kind of bubbling up in this new way that's exciting again, at least for me, under the beauty umbrella. I've always loved fragrance, even if you look back years back into my YouTube videos, which there's a lot of them, I've been here a while. I've always loved fragrance. I've always had a larger than most fragrance collection, like, for years. And so that is not new, but I'm really getting into it and been really exploring and buying and trying and all those things. What this comes down to, what it boils down to, is I'm at a place where I want to curate my makeup collection to my tried and trues, ride or dies, and I'm hoping in the near future, I've kind of got my wish list for fragrance really narrowed down. You will see some new fragrance content coming out because there's some really cool new launches coming out that are coming to me in the mail, because I told my hubby, I'm like, early Christmas presents, because I really want to get content out there because I'm excited about these. I know a lot of you are excited about them. So you're going to see some exciting fragrance content coming. And then after Christmas is over, I have really tailored my wish list. I'm going to be very particular about my fragrance, and I'm really going to be diving into curating my fragrance collection, because I feel like this last year I've explored with fragrance. So I do think learning what really works for you under the beauty umbrella, whether that's skincare or fragrance or makeup, same with hair, it takes time to play and explore and learn. That was a really long ramble inside of this declutter. I hope that's okay. So a skincare item I did not like, Watermelon Overnight Face Mask by Trader Joe's. It did nothing for me, honestly. It was just like an added step that I wasn't seeing any benefits from. I did empty this out, but I didn't use it. This is the Pineapple Enzyme Facial Tonic by Pearl Essence. This was a TJ Maxx find that I thought I would reach for, but the sprayer was really harsh on it, so it wasn't going to work for over makeup, and I just didn't find it really a necessity in my skincare routine, so Declutter. Something I really liked a lot, the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray. I just had other ones that I really needed to use before they expire. I would definitely repurchase this. I really liked this a lot. This was a blush, Cheek Dew by ColourPop Serum Blush. I actually really liked it a lot at first, but then I got to the point where if I was having a heavier makeup day, like wearing real foundation, which I wear real foundation far more than I wear like BB cream or anything like that, and I powder usually, and I just found that this at times would pick up my products underneath. If I was doing a very minimal makeup day, just kind of a fresh skin look, this worked really beautifully over top, but if I had on like an actual makeup day, then this would pick up products. So these little Fenty minis, these are the gloss bombs. There is Pretty Please, Hot Chocolate, and Cheeky. I honestly think the Fenty lip glosses are some of the best. These are incredible quality. They feel really nice. The packaging's really pretty. The price is not cheap, but to me, these are glosses that honestly, if I was going to get it, I would just go with the original one because I feel like it's a very neutral, kind of easy grab, where these were a little more playful. These were the French press line from Bite Cosmetics glosses. I love the neutral tone of these, but the scent of them was nasty. I didn't like the scent from the get-go. I thought I was going to like these because I love coffee. I love coffee fragrances. Like, I love the smell of coffee. Like, walking down the coffee aisle at the grocery store is awesome in my opinion. But this was a really nasty smelling, artificial, like it didn't even smell it. It just smelled weird, and I was like, okay. I never reached for them for that reason, so finally I was like, okay, they need to go. Oh, I'm sorry. Here's another Fenty. This is in confetti. And then these were two liquid lipsticks by I Heart Revolution. The colors are really pretty. These are Nectarine and Apricot. Very nice peachy neutrals, which are honestly some of my absolute favorite neutrals to wear. I love a good peachy color, but I just didn't reach for these very often, and I just don't love liquid lipsticks. I'm much more a bullet lipstick kind of gal. Another palette I got rid of was the Bronzed in Paradise by Ace Beauty. This came in BoxyCharm. These colors just were not my favorite. I really could only use the lighter ones. I just didn't find myself reaching for this. Had it a while. The colors weren't what I wanted, so I was like, okay, it's going. Something I used for quite a while, Too Faced Natural Face Palette. I did use this. It doesn't look super used, but I reached for this color a lot in here, and this one was shimmery. I don't love a super shimmery bronzer. And then these highlighters weren't my favorite, and the blushes were fine, but it was like not really grabbing my attention. If I have something that I'm forcing myself to reach for and I'm not enjoying it, I'm to a point where I'm like, do I really need to keep it? And this also came in BoxyCharm, so again, it's not like something I bought full price or that I like bought and, you know, regretted. It was just, it came in BoxyCharm and it wasn't something I was reaching for. One reason I did quit subscribing to BoxyCharm is because I was just getting products that they were exciting to receive. The whole, like, you know, kid on Christmas feeling was there, but I'd rather spend the same amount of money and get a product that I personally know will work for me. This Cover FX one, the contour color broke, and I actually did really like this palette. All the colors honestly worked for me, which is rare. I do think this came in, yes, light medium, so it was a little bit more tailored. There's a light medium and I think like a medium deep. This actually did work for me, and I really liked the contour color, but the contour color broke, so she's a goner. And then an eyeshadow palette, you guys, that, I mean, I'm almost done here. I can move this giant box. An eyeshadow palette, I seriously, like, I had to pry it out of my hands because I love this one. This came in BoxyCharm, but what a discovery. This is the Alamar Cosmetics, and I've had this since 2018, so I was like, it needs to go. It's really old, but you guys, I cannot lie, this is some of the best eyeshadow formula I have ever used. What a discovery. I haven't purchased from her since just because I have a lot of other eyeshadow I'm trying to use, but I personally would not hesitate to purchase because the formula is so freaking good. The mattes are so blendable. The foils are so pretty, so pigmented, very buttery. Excellent, excellent quality. Like, what a discovery. Another one that was so hard to get rid of, but I've had this since 2016. She didn't get a lot of use, which makes me sad to admit. But this was back when YouTube, like when I was first really into YouTube, and I feel like individual eyeshadows were all the rage and creating your own palette was all the rage. There are some coastal scents in here, which was very affordable. It Sadly, they've gone out of business. Makeup Geek, which she went out of business too. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that. Wow, there's some history in this palette. I almost like want to keep it as like a collector's edition. The quality of this was very good. I just wasn't reaching for it for some reason. I think it's because a lot of the colors are very kind of like cool tone, neutral, a little dull in my opinion. My own fault. I curated it. She was so old. It was time for her to go. And then BH Cosmetics, I actually love this palette. This is the Fairy Lights. Such cute colors in here. Like, this is my kind of colors, honestly. The pinks in here are so cute. But again, this is one I'd had quite a while, and I just wasn't reaching for it a lot because I had other things I was using or trying to use. The last thing I want to possibly declutter is I want to look at my foundation drawer. This may not look like success, but only having this many to me is success. I've made strides compared to what I used to have in my collection. And looking in here, there's only a couple I would even think of getting rid of. There are 2 foundations in here that I haven't even opened. The Joa Crystal Glow Foundation, I actually really like it, but this color is like, the color was off. This was like something light neutral, I think, 40, and it looked right on their website, but it's very tan on me. So I probably will declutter this one, even though I love it, but like I'm not gonna be able to wear it again for probably 6 months. So by then it will 100% be expired. And then one that would really upset me to get rid of is this Jaclyn Cosmetics skin tint, because I actually really like it. And this was probably one of the more expensive things in here. This wasn't cheap, and I have like a good amount left, but I've been wearing this and I do really like it, honestly. I'm not just feeding a line here because it's Jaclyn. I will be real with you guys, I'm not the biggest fan anymore. And I'm not trying to start drama with that at all. That's just my personal opinion. There's some things that have happened in the recent that really bother me, but I do really like this. This is a very good item in my opinion. If you're looking for something that's not foundation but really smooths you, and like I said, pores are a big struggle for me. I feel like my face was breaking out, like I got a pimple here, I have one, I had a really bad like one under the skin right next to my lip, correlating to the time I was wearing this. I don't know if it's just too hydrating because it is a very like sticky consistency, so I don't know if that's why. Maybe I will give it another wear and see if I break out, and then if I do break out, then I'm probably gonna let it go. This is a 12-month expiration. It's probably like right at that time. I'm gonna wear it one more time and see if my face breaks out. It's a lot to risk. Then I'm like, do I really want to? But something like this that I bought full price, it's like, I'm gonna get rid of it. It'll be like 20 pounds lighter in here. I love it. All right, guys, that is all for today's video. I feel like this was super long and super random and rambly, but I really do appreciate you being here, and I appreciate you hanging out with me. I always look forward to our weekends together. If you guys are doing anything fun this weekend or have anything new going on in your life, please share it down below. I love hearing from you guys. I truly mean that. It just makes me so happy when I get to know my subscribers, my Lash fam, and yeah, okay, that is all. I'll shut up now. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please try to stay positive, because at the end of the day, that is truly all we can try to do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.